into that. So let me kick off this first one.
To let me know if I am the only one that has noticed that men are not like how they were when our parents were growing up. Like I grew up, I don't know if it's because like the Italian values or what. Like I grew up like the man is supposed to take care of the woman. The man is supposed to go up to the girls. Like the man is supposed to have drive and initiate everything. Like I feel like now it's so hard to find guys that like even just in general have drive in life. Like I feel like it's so different, and I don't know, like I personally never get approached. I never. Maybe something's wrong with me, I don't know, but like I feel like then like whenever I like talk about it, everyone's like, oh well, they want the girl to like go up to them. Like what? When did this change? When did this change? Because I want a man. I don't want to be the man. Someone come up to me. Anyways, I just feel like there's no manly men. I just don't think so. I think every guy I've met is like honestly super emotional. And that's fine. Like I'm all about feelings, whatever. Like I'm an emotional person. So like that's okay. But I feel like it's definitely like sometimes worse than girls. Like I'm not even kidding. Like it's crazy. Anyways, so if anyone knows if manly men still exist, let me know. Or if I'm the only one that thinks they don't. I don't know.
You know what? I'm gonna look at her for a minute. I'm just gonna look at her for a hot minute right here and go ahead and drop that.
Stop the cap.
I saw a couple things in that video. Listen, I got to roll with her point by point. So the first thing is I will say it's interesting to see a young lady from a different background saying some of the same stuff we hear all the time. Yeah, so that right there tells me something. That right there tells me this is not just a us situation, if that makes sense, right? So I just want to preface by saying that, but she made a couple points, and like I said, I always have to question some of these points. So one of the first things that she said that today she is not seeing men with drive. And sometimes I wonder when I hear, young ladies talk about men with drive, my first question is how driven are you? That's the first thing. Because we're always talking about some man without some drive, but then it's like on the flip side, what does your drive look like? What do are you hitting your achievements? Are you hitting your milestones? Like what are you actually doing? So that's the first question. I said we always missing the other side of these particular statements that are being made. The other thing is are we confusing a man's perceived lack of drive for him being content? Yeah, Vince, you've made this point before, talking about brothers driving a bus or driving a truck. Sometimes a brother has found what he enjoys doing. He's got his flow down, got his routine down. He know what type of money is coming in off of that thing, and he's comfortable doing that and being able to provide for his family and take care of his business. And he don't need no more. Yep, some fellas get to a certain age and it's like they finally figure out the hustle, or as we call it, the rat race. They finally figure that out and they like, I'm not going to keep playing this game. So I'm going to get into this job. This job is paying me, 6 figures, whatever. It's taking care of my bills. I'm vacationing 4 or 5 times a year. My investments popping. I got all the cars I need. My kids is through college. So he's doing his thing and chilling. Yep, that don't mean that the guy don't have drive. Yep, and then the other, perspective on that drive statement is when are you catching this guy? See, you may be catching this guy in his later age. This guy may have been, pushing hard, or as we like to say, grinding through all his younger years, and now he chilling because he done got his stuff situated. Now he riding that thing on out until his last days. So I think we got to be a little careful with all of this, guys lack drive, or they not ambitious and all this nonsense we keep hearing. Yeah, I'm starting to think some of that's just cap. Yeah, maybe we need to translate that into maybe he ain't doing what you want him to do. Yeah, but that don't mean he ain't got drive and he ain't got ambition. So let me go ahead and lay that foundation. Yeah, the next thing that the young lady talked about was men approaching women. And to Chloe's point, we've added so much additional nonsense into the approach process. A lot of dudes is just saying, forget it. Yeah, they're looking at some of these outcomes that we're seeing out here. They're looking at all of these old, call it what it is, these old stank attitudes that's out here. And they like, you know what, I'm good. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I'm not sure if some of these folks understand that fellas, especially at a certain age, they want peace. Yeah, they don't want to be bucking with you, trying to have a conversation with you. They don't want to deal with your bad attitude. They don't want to deal with your face all toe up. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to deal with you being, not being polite and they holding doors for you, you know what I'm saying, and trying to be a gentleman and shooting some of these previous videos being called corny because they was trying to be a gentleman. Like, dudes that get to a certain point in their life, they don't want to deal with that. Yeah, so they just gonna go on about their business. Yep, so that might be partially why you're not getting that approach. And I think if we have a young lady saying that she's not getting approached by men, my recommendation is the first thing she needs to do is look at self. Yeah, because at the end of the day, if you are, and I'm gonna call it what it is, if you halfway attractive, some dude is gonna approach you. So if you ain't getting no approaches, then you might need to look at yourself first. Yeah, the young lady also made an additional point about women approaching men. And I'm just going to use Simone Biles as an example. Yep, she shot her shot right out the gate. She said she knew what she wanted. She saw what she wanted and she went for it. And she secured her man, got her football player, and got her husband. Yeah, so I almost think we might need to you know what I'm saying, reapproach this whole scenario of a woman approaching a man. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do the pursuit. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is we shouldn't frown at a situation where a woman has engaged with a man. Yeah, you ain't got to sit there and be silent. You can say hello. That may be all it takes. Yeah, you can say, hey, how you doing? And I'll just use the gym as an example. You can say, hey, can you help me with these weights? That might be your way of sliding right on in that brother's face. And if he come help you with them weights, it might be on and popping. So some of the stuff that we trying to hold on to, because this is really what it comes down to. Just looking at some of these videos that folks send me, we got a situation where some of our young ladies today, they want to pick and choose when we gonna honor tradition. Yep, and that don't work. Yeah, you want the man to be traditional when it comes to approaching and engaging you, but then all the other time you want to roll with this modern mindset. You can't do both. You got to pick one. Yeah, you got to be consistent. Yeah, so if we want to do the modern thing, as the young ladies are saying that they want to do, then you're gonna have to modernize how we engage with each other. If that's how you want to look at it. But if you want to do the traditional thing all the way through, all the way around, then we can do that as well. But you got to live that life. And as we see today, a lot of folks don't want to live that life. I'm coming to the panel right out the gate. Chloe, Vince, what y'all got to say about what the young lady just said? Yeah. What y'all thinking, Chloe? I saw you come off mute. What you thinking on that one?
There's definitely an epidemic of feminine men. We're dealing with that for real. But the funny part is a symptom of that is how masculine women have become. So now when you compare men to women, you feel and your perception is that men are more feminine. But we're not going to talk about how women have become more masculine. I just don't understand how there's always got to be a sort of balance And I don't know. I mean, can we make the case possibly for by nature things are just balancing out? You guys are getting more masculine. I mean, somebody got to fit the role. I mean,
Bruh.
I don't know. I mean, we could go in so many different directions. We know what adds to this emergence of more feminine men. We understand that there are a lot more single parent homes now, and the overwhelming majority of those single parent homes are led by women, right? And if these young men don't have any kind of strong male influence in their lives, then they may take on these more feminine attributes that they're seeing from their mothers and their sisters and their aunts and things like that, right? Ladies, you guys have made it so hard for men to approach women these days. You are so quick to call men creeps. They're weird, they're corny, they're goofy. You know, you got all of these things. They're simps, you know. So now if a man tries to approach, you know, and maybe, you know, take that gentlemanly role where he approaches you and just wants to kind of get to know you and ask for your name and let's exchange phone numbers and that whole typical thing that you do when you meet someone that you're potentially interested in. You guys now are talking about you shooting guys down for nothing. Like if you don't like something about what he said, something about how he looks, if you don't feel he approaches you the way he should approach you, like you shooting guys down. Now a guy is like, if she don't show me something that tells me she's interested in me, then I'm just not even gonna do it. Because they don't want to get called a creep. They don't want to get shot down. It's not fear of rejection. Men are used, listen, men get